Hello, disc golf fans, and welcome to the 2019 Throwdown the Mountain 7, presented by Discraft and Sun King Discs. We've got big German commentary, Simon Lizotte in the booth, joined by Jeremy Koling.
It is great to be back and watching lead card action.
Yeah, we've got a fantastic course here at Brooksville, Florida. One of the most famous courses in Florida. Paul McBeth starting off the blistering pace at 12 under. And we've got another Florida native here, Aaron Doyle, new father, Jacksonville, Florida. Incredible start at 9 under. And Johne McCray, the old seasoned veteran, been doing things in Florida since 1971. Just making up numbers here, but probably since about then. And young kid Calvin Heimburg, you guys know him as the Heimburg, also with a great 8 under start. Just outside Tampa, Florida. We got 3 Florida natives here. And
yeah, that's what I just noticed. 3 locals, kind of ish, but yeah, it kind of goes to show that the home court advantage is a real thing.
Hole 1 is 360 feet uphill the whole way. Par 3, really difficult backhand turnover. Most likely the best play is going to be a forehand if you have the distance for it. Not many people do. This guy does. And Paul's going with a flex with an ESP Kong. And that is able to hold on the hillside nicely.
Yeah, Paul has the forehand down. He kind of always tells me that the less effort he puts into his sidearm, kind of the further it goes. And I think that's a great lesson to learn.
And Aaron Doyle, player with a lot of power, just off the right side. That was looking pretty nice. And it's pretty much as tight as you have to keep that backhand. Just a foot or 2 left, and that would have been way up there. Johnny is one of the best in the world, I think, at these kind of shots. These like low ceiling shots require height to get the turn, yet he still somehow manages to keep it low and turned over. It's a shot that I just don't have. I don't understand it, yet he's so good at that.
Yeah, Johnny's especially good at committing, which I always enjoy watching. Is if he goes for it, he goes for it.
Yeah, I love that with him. And Calvin going with the forehand with the destroyer, showing that low ceiling coming into play. A little bit too much hyzer. Needs to keep that flattened. But that's a long look at it. He's actually closer than I thought he'd be.
Wow, yeah. Calvin also has like a sneakily far sidearm.
Oh, good effort. Just a bit low.
It's pretty cool to see we have 4 birdie chances on this hole.
Oh, Aaron with just a nice run as well. Just a little bit left. Yeah, I feel like this is a hole that is going to get a lot of birdie looks, but they're all going to be from about this range, which is, yeah, just barely off. 3 players off medal. McBeth is substantially closer, probably 22 feet away, and this should be no problem for him. He's putting so well right now.
Yeah, right here, right off the bat, hole 1, Paul gaining a stroke on the card, another stroke.
Yeah, as if he needs it.
So hopefully Aaron can connect this par putt. No problem.
Yeah, I mean, he only had 3 strokes on Aaron, a player that you probably haven't seen on Jomez too much in the past. I don't know if he's actually been on the coverage yet, but a really solid player from down in these parts. If you're from the Southeast, you've probably played with Aaron at some point, and he's a really good player. But only 1 birdie in hole 1. Moving on to second hole, which is an incredibly demanding shot. If you're going to go for this straight tunnel shot, which most people do, you have to be very accurate, probably with a high-speed driver to get to that position you want to be to open up the second shot. The second shot has 2 openings. You see the hyzer route that's showing here, but the problem with the hyzer route is that barbed wire fence comes in play. So there's a lot of things to think about on this hole.
Yeah, I saw some interesting play on this hole yesterday, which maybe inspired me to try something new today. But
the spike hyzer
throwing his the spike hyzer.
Yeah.
You can't. There's like a nice line over the trees. Paul choosing a fairway driver here, the Tsunami.
Yeah,
and he's been throwing those all week, and he loves them.
And Aaron, just catching the lowest part of that limb. That was looking really nice, but probably going to be in a bad spot now.
And interesting that Johnny's playing it with headphones. I remember that round one he wasn't. I wonder what changed.
He has outdriven the fairway, which is a very common thing to do here if you don't go with an overstable driver. It's going to be a tricky approach to get anywhere near the putting green. Oh, and that was just a fraction too tight. Had that been a foot wider, I think he had been in the perfect spot.
Yeah, round one, he absolutely threw the best drive ever seen on this hole. But he's still almost got the good angle there, but leaves himself probably about 70 feet uphill putt.
And if you guys zoom in on that disc there, that's the KC Bob. It's like a KC Rock, but somebody turned the R into a B and the C into a B, which is just
very funny.
It's funny.
Yes.
It's humor.
Oh, going up there as well.
Yeah, there's really not much in terms of creativity when you get stuck in the rough out here. Paul going for the Anheuser route, and looked like a good shot.
Yeah, when you have a straight line at that basket and on the left gap, you know your drive was pimped.
And Johnny's showing off the forehand Anheuser. I got to give props to that. You don't see that from him very often.
Good
really,
touch.
Yeah, that was nice.
Little half run there by Calvin. It's really hard at that distance to get it all the way up the hill and give it a chance to go in.
And good recovery from Aaron as well. Got 3 players scrambling and 1 player out here putting for birdie. Oh, wow. Much further away than I thought.
Oh.
Has to go to a knee. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
So comfortable right now. Even when he's on his knee, I mean, the putt doesn't show any signs of being anything different than just a normal stance.
I love that he's like never happy or impressed.
Well, he's impressed when the tournament's over.
Yeah.
Johnny in high left side, but catches and has a good par. Never really in the fairway until that putt. And we're already seeing a little bit of that separation as Paul has started off with 2 birdies and the card has started off with 2 pars. Hole 3, par 4, 480 feet. Very specific landing zone. Not only do you want to land on this road, but specifically you want to land on the right side of this road to really open up the angle. If you don't, that hillside is going to play a lot of tricks, and especially the low ceiling going uphill to a green that is on a little mound right there. So not that hard of a par 4, one of the easier ones on the course.
But actually round 2, this hole played the exact same average as hole 2 did.
Yeah.
So that was surprising to me when I was looking at the stats. And I wonder why, because it's an easier tee shot.
Wow.
It's kind of an easier upshot too. So
I'm struggling on that. I see that there was a 10 carded on a hole, an 8, a 7, and a 6. Those numbers alone just boost up that scoring average. That's the reason why. But there's going to be a lot more birdies in this hole, I feel like. But
oh, yeah, the 10.
Interesting statistic there. Good catch. And Johnny going for the inside route. I'm afraid that's going to be a little bit too tight. But he might be able to work something up the fairway. Oh. Yeah, I think the shot is just a little bit higher, wider, more of like a stall play. And Calvin's just got to jump putt into position, and that's kind of where you want your drive to be.
Yeah, Calvin's been a little off the first 3 holes here, so hopefully he can find his rhythm soon.
And McBeth just clearing that hillside. Wasn't sure if that was going to get all the way up there, but that's in that 100% range right now that I feel like Paul's just not going to miss.
Yeah, anywhere at that tree, you're going to look at a good birdie putt.
Oh, and that's out of bounds. Unfortunately, Johnny is just a little bit too high. And Aaron catching a little bit of that low ceiling. Calvin with a nice looking recovery shot.
With the Rhino.
He loves that clear champion Rhino. I threw that back to him in the field yesterday, and I got halfway to him. So that thing is very overstable and shows how powerful of a player Calvin really is.
And this is for par save.
No, that was for birdie.
Oh,
He went out of bounds. Correct. Yes, that was for par.
So he has a tester putt coming back for bogey here, where Paul is parked. Paul standard parked.
Yeah.
And Aaron has a birdie chance here. Come on. The card needs a birdie.
Oh, just off the high nubs. I hate that. And of course, you got traffic driving by while Aaron's putting, and there's no traffic going by when Paul's putting. It's just like the sea is parted.
If this was a skins match, Paul would be doing pretty well.
He'd be a millionaire. Johnny.
Good save.
Good bogey save. Yeah, it's a tough position to be in. The out of bounds kick, probably not what he was expecting to see, but we have not seen the last of Johne McCray, that is for sure. And if once again we're going to see 1 over for the whole card through 3 holes, 3 under for McBeth.
That's almost shocking.
It's just comfortable golf now. He doesn't feel like he has anyone on his coattails. He's just going to be able to do what he wants to do. And I don't think he's a player that's necessarily affected by what other people do traditionally. But still, if you have that comfort level, it makes it a little bit easier to execute your shots. Anyways,
maybe the hardest hole or one of the hardest par 3s on the course can level this field out again. He's throwing his force. This is his most understable force. That's all I know about that disc.
And skipping up the hill. Wow. Yeah. When you've got a 6-stroke lead or a 6-stroke lead, and then you throw that shot on this hole, things are looking nice. And Aaron with a nice looking shot as well. If that gets a straight skip, that's up there in putting range too. Those are phenomenal drives.
All about hitting that initial gap and then kind of hoping for a good skip and slide.
Calvin with that Star Destroyer he's been rocking for the last couple of years. He's so good with this disc. And look at this drive, all the way up the hill.
Wow, that's pin. Is that pin high?
Pin high.
Past pin high.
Wow, that is really, really awesome. Oh, and Johnny with a loving kick there. And it's a nice Anheuser skip. You'll take that.
Yeah, I don't think he will ever complain about that.
A little tree direction right down the middle. Johnny's even got a look at it. Wow, we got 4 putts for birdie on hole 4. Oh!
I tend to pull putts uphill right, too. I wonder why we do that. Oh, good sit, though.
And Paul McBeth to continue the perfect start. Yeah.
No problem is pretty accurate.
Yeah.
And Calvin with the best drive I've ever seen on this hole.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and count it. 3 birdies on the day, folks, and you just saw 2 of them. You saw 66% of the people that can do that.
Yeah, this card definitely made it look easier than it is.
We had Charlie Good Pasture with the other 2. I'm sure he threw that Grim that he was rocking during round 1. Moving on to a slightly easier par 3. Hole 5 is a 320-foot straight shot right up the hill, almost with like a backstop. Once you get over this first mound here, you really can just throw it, I don't want to say as hard as you want to, but this hillside allows you to put a little bit more pace onto it, just commit to your shot.
Yeah, you really want to give this one a chance, kind of. There's nothing really behind the basket that is any danger. The only thing that can happen is this kind of unlucky roll away all the way to the fence, OB right. But Paul just throwing a mid-range here and putting himself probably 25.
Mm-hmm. Yep, those little sawgrass bushes are just inside the circle, and it looks like he's right in the middle of those. Calvin as well going with mid-range, and that has caught some early cabbage and is going to leave him a long jump putt approach, I'm guessing.
I've seen a lot of early releases on this hole.
Aaron says, all right, Paul, you're going to throw a buzz? I like that play, except my name's not Paul McBeth. He's got the skill to throw that shot. He's just a different person, unfortunately for him in this situation.
Yeah.
And Johnny throwing a very Johnny-esque line, just a straight laser beam right at it, a little bit of turn, hyzer fade at the end, inside the circle.
Might be a fun putt from up there.
And that's about as much as you can do from there. You think Calvin's trying to do something sweet here?
He's always trying to do something sweet.
Oh!
Almost got the Plinko make.
The Plinko make, huh?
Paul's pocket is out of whack.
Yeah, I know. It's probably going to affect his score later on at some point. Nope.
Oh, that's
he fixed
why.
it. He fixed it.
So he used a mini marker on that putt?
Probably helped him get out of the cabbage a bit. Ooh, Aaron. Just over the rim. Good par save. Johnny's trying to find his shot in the pampas. Pampas just has those little tentacles that reach out and grab you. It's not going to slow your swing, but it's just going to annoy you just a little bit. You know, it's going to get in your head just enough to make you think twice about it. Why was that so funny?
It made me remember you on hole 1 in Waco where you were talking about the branches tickling your back.
Okay. Oh, man. Every time I laugh, I hear the remnants of Waco with my allergies. So don't make me laugh, please.
Okay.
Hole 6, par 3, 375 feet. Strange, like a little sawed-off hyzer angle. The play is maybe come just short of this tree on the left side. You go along to that tree, you got the hay bales in the way, which are really just there to hold up advertising signs, I think, because they're really not that convenient for players. So,
yeah, I call this hole kind of a putting contest. I mean, most people will land right where Paul landed at that tree or right at the hay bales or maybe a bit long. This hole is deceivingly short. Like, you want to keep it shorter than you kind of think.
Mm-hmm.
And Johnny choosing the really high route here, which I like.
I like that play, too. Oh, and Johnny long of the basket rolls back to it. I have not seen that. I guess I'm going to try that today.
Okay, I think you kind of have to just throw in hope if you go that high because there's like 2 guardian trees where you kind of have to just push through in that case.
And Calvin, was that the Rhino? I kind of thought that maybe a slower disc might be the play so you don't push in the back edge of the fairway so quick, but I know that Calvin has a Firebird that's clear and a Rhino. I think that might have been the Firebird.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah, and
that's what usually happens.
Mm-hmm. It's the tree versus the disc battled too. Johnny wins, Aaron loses. Or maybe not. Yeah.
That looked longer than 38 feet to me.
We need to talk to these distance graphic people.
This is 38 feet.
And this is where Paul was during round 1. And the same result as round 1 because he can't miss. Look at that follow through. Wow.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You can't argue.
What's there to argue?
I mean, you could say it was sloppy.
Oh gosh, you're such a perfectionist. Calvin, unfortunately, just a bit low. Johnny, this has got to be the only park drive I haven't seen a park job in practice or in the rounds yet, so that's...
If this was a CTP hole, then Johnny would win the car.
Yeah, he'd definitely be coming home with a prize.
Good form there, Aaron. Good form. This is my new favorite hole.
Yeah. Hole 7, par 4, 685 feet. A big hyzer off the tee to try to get up in this big fat landing zone there. A good tee shot will leave you inside 250 or so. And a not so good tee shot will leave you around 330 or so. But the blind approach, unless you go really wide, Paul was saying he doesn't like to go for that big fat landing zone. He just likes throwing a little pitch hyzer. Tries to keep it on the left side of this main fairway here. Oh, a little bit of a bad bounce, maybe, just for angle purposes.
Yeah, with Paul really not having many weaknesses in his game, he can just lay one up, and then his sidearm is so powerful and consistent that he can just blast the sidearm at the green and probably get up and down for birdie from almost anywhere in the fairway.
Wow, Johnny. Oh, man, he powered through the hyzer, unfortunately. He needed another 3 or 4 feet of height to clear that last set of pampas. Calvin going for the really tight, big hyzer. This is looking really good if it gets over these trees. Yeah, that's ideal.
I like the artsy blur effect.
Yeah, he doesn't have to blur, but they do that just for people like you that appreciate that artistic touch.
Oh, that looks a bit wide.
Just look down at the scores. This is looking really nice from Aaron. Oh, I think that he might be able to step around and throw the patent pending, but it might be a little bit tight there. Anyway, I just looked down at the scores and saw that he's literally doubling everyone's score on the lead card right now.
Oh, Paul hits one of the smaller guardian branches, and
that may have rolled down.
It looked like it was on a roller angle there, so maybe he has a little tester there.
Aaron, nice Anheuser shot.
Super nice. With a putter.
Yeah, Aaron has a lot of power. Really controlled with his putters and mids.
Sick.
And Johnny with a little bit worse of an angle, or I should say a lot worse of an angle. Once you get in that grass, it just really limits what you can do.
Here comes the Rhino again.
Yeah.
I was expecting more of a run there. He kind of just laid it up.
Yeah, you're kind of in that bowl area, and he has a straight look at it. Oh, here we go. The Johnny patented turbo putt.
Give it a chance. Come on. Nope.
It looks like he might have caught some of those tentacles in his backswing. Oh my gosh. Ladies and gentlemen, he's human.
Good thing there's eagle holes left.
Yeah, good thing. Yeah, good thing you have a 9-stroke lead. Oh, oops, it's 8 strokes now. No, I totally understand where he's coming from. When you're playing that well, you're just so surprised as anyone else that it didn't go in. And
it's just really annoying if you have like this perfectly green scorecard and then there's like a gray little...
gray.
Yeah.
Well, let's see if he can bounce back. I think he's going to be just fine, folks. Hole 8, par 3, 345-foot straight shot. Yesterday, we saw McBeth go with a buzz, put it about 10 feet away. I'm guessing he's going to try to do the same thing today. But this left to right hillside does play tricks. If you catch one of these last trees, if you catch this one right in front of the basket, your shot can end up 60, 70 feet away.
One of the easier holes, you kind of want to make sure you want to miss left if you miss. And if that one...
Oh.
Yeah, this misses right. And if you're in these little pine trees here, it's gambling. Oh, but Calvin is parked.
He's a gambling man. And if this catches the hillside the right way, this is going to get anti-skip. Ugh. Just catches the nasty grass. It's going to leave.
Still a very makeable 40-footer.
Mm-hmm.
Little downhill, not too much danger.
And like expected, Beth does get a grip, and he has grip lock his shot.
Yeah, it seemed like too much grip there.
Mm-hmm. And that will be a very interesting putt from wherever he landed.
Paul is clearly struggling now.
Yeah.
So,
Oof.
heads up to the whole field. We're coming for you.
Yeah, we'll be within 10 strokes in no time. After 27 holes.
Wow, little blue-green flare.
I like that. Oh, beautiful shot from Johnny. This is like a Johnny special hole right here, right? This distance, that line. Paul doesn't even have a putt. He's got to go flick. Trick shot. Well done. Oh, and that could...
That might be trouble. Oh, he has to go again right now. Punch through.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about.
Well,
Future course designers, I think we can all agree that a tree that's 2 feet, less than 2 feet, less than a foot away from the basket is too close to the basket, I think.
yeah, I agree. But I like that he really committed to that first birdie putt.
Yeah, you have to.
And then if you missed, there's really no reason to be angry about it because at least you committed.
That would be the healthy way to look at that, yes. And now we see some scores coming in. Chris Dickerson and Michael Johansson and Charlie Goodpasture making good runs. Johne McCray still in the mix.
Simon Lizotte in 7th.
Yeah, Simon Lizotte just coming up in 7th place. All the way from Germany, folks. He's out here. Hole 9 is a par 3, 440 feet. Really good backhand Anheuser hole if you can control the flight starting at about 350 feet to start turning over up the hill. I'd put this definitely in the bonus birdie range. Really tricky hole.
Yeah, I think this is also playing as one of the more difficult par 3s. This is a hole that isn't very difficult to par, but very difficult to birdie. And Calvin just kind of lost control out of that one, and that just stayed straight. Never flipped. Maybe he was hoping for some wind there, because we're throwing through this little canyon where the wind is a bit unpredictable.
Yeah, you can't quite feel what it's doing out there. You just kind of have to trust the disc to do the work. Johnny.
Hold it.
Going to turn over through the field goal branches. That'll leave him inside putting range. A long putt, but a nice drive. This is turned over quite a bit, but clean. And up the path.
Just 40 feet long.
Yeah. Stupid. It's not stupid. Stupid's not the right word, but
no, it's really good. Good angle control and way to go for it because this basket also has kind of a backstop, so there's no reason to leave this short ever, really.
Oh, wow. This is a beautiful shot as well. And you can see that the difficulty is once you throw the beautiful shot around the corner, you really can't see or control what it's going to hit up there.
And now we need to see a good scramble.
Oh, wow. Great out from Calvin.
Yeah, hard from the camera angle to see what he had there. It looked like not much, but for that, he put it very close. Give it a chance.
Right on line. And Paul McBeth from 35 feet. Oh! That's a NoMez, folks. That's a lot of right side chains. And we saw that putt go in for him last week in Waco.
In slow motion, Paul has to smile at that. I can totally relate to his feelings there.
Oh, man. That would have been really nice to see Aaron pick up that birdie. Such a challenging hole. And Calvin with a great scramble.
Good par. Calvin shooting a bogey-free 3 down on the front, which was a lot of scrambling.
5 birdies on the day. I'll run through that real quick. Charlie Goodpasture, Dustin Riles, Steve Brinster, Brandon Oleski, and Jason Rubalcova.
Yeah.
Rubalcova, I'm going to say. That's 5 awesome birdies. And that's going to conclude our front 9 with Paul McBeth just saying this is his course, man. And got 3 Floridians who are battling hard and doing as much as they can to stay in the mix. Make sure you tune in for the back 9 coverage of the second round here at the Throwdown the Mountain 7, presented by Discraft and Sun King Discs. We'll see you there.
Thanks for watching.